Old River Road in front, the heart of the East Bank of the Flats. The 80s brought new life into the city of Cleveland, which created a nationally known entertainment district, visited by celebrities from all over. From Fagan's to Jimmy's famous 99-cent happy hour, and Noisemakers, Palladium, and Beach Club's dance music, this is the Cleveland Flats. In the mid-80s, Cleveland's East Bank of the Flats was once a thriving entertainment district, consisting of bars, nightclubs, and fine restaurants, like this building that housed Noisemakers and Tangerine Farley's. It eventually turned into a desolate area in the early 2000s, consisting of boarded doors and remnants of once a vivacious entertainment district. What caused this once vivacious place into a lifeless ghost town? There are many websites that have theories on what actually happened to the Flats. One theory was that Mayor White wanted to sell the land, and in 2001, a series of 9 clubs were closed down by the City Safety Task Force due to minor safety regulations. The Flats never recovered, and the land did not sell. The other theory is due to city budget cuts, which created lack of police officers to secure the streets, causing violence, death, and street crimes, along with 3 people drowning in the year of 2000. One of the first area settlers was Lorenzo Carter, who made this area his home in 1796. Later, as Cleveland developed into a world shipping power, the Flats housed warehouses, shipping companies, and bars for the sailors. By 1970, 2 bars became known for its food and entertainment: DePoo's, and this one, though it bears the sign of Spinnakers, it was Fagan's. Fagan's was one of the few bars that had a waist-high pool. It served great food and had national acts in the outside patio like Cheap Trick and Night Ranger. Patrons of Fagan's could sit out in the patio and overlook the river to old Club Coconuts and Shooters. As of 2022, Shooters is still there today. By 1988, the Flats became known as the place to be. Club and bar owners began to see an uprising in new venues, including chains like Hooters and this building that housed Joe's Crab Shack. Located right on the river next to Fagan's, Joe is the kind of place that welcomes you in warmly and serves you great seafood. Though the tables and decor are gone, grabbing a bucket of crabs and sitting outside during the parade of lights to enjoy a fun-filled night dancing will always keep the experience of Joe's alive. The surge of growing businesses in the early 2000s brought on small storefronts, as you can see here. These specialty shops were not high-end, which contributed to the decline of the area. One of the more iconic bars that lasted the test of time was the Cleveland Beach Club. It was one of the few businesses that kept its name through the years. When the Beach Club first opened in 1985, it had an inside sandy beach. The beach was a stepping stone to Wild Ladies Nights and acts to help have a better male-to-female ratio. The area that occupied the sand at the Beach Club was sold to what was soon to become the basement and attic nightclub. The Beach Club's neon sign could be seen from the west end of the Flats at the theatrical club Coconuts. Unfortunately, every good club does not last forever. Across the street from the Beach Club was Heaven and Earth, which made its debut in the 2000s. It was 2 clubs featuring house and hip-hop. Since the Flats was Cleveland's main tourist place, jet ski rentals were available for tourists to make the most of their day until the clubs opened at night. The Beachcomber and Tiki Bar was the original home of DePoo's that lasted until 1987, in which Hooters bought out. If you look closely, you can still see the Hooters sign. Hooters occupied the center of the East Bank of the Flats under the Route 2 bridge. When the area changed and the businesses began to go south, so did the main chains like Hooters. The Beachcomber and the Tiki Bar then took over. During the Flats peak period, finding a parking spot was nearly impossible. After the decline of the Flats in mid-2000, a parking spot was very easy to find. All these buildings that used to occupy Old River Road still echo the music and memories of Clevelanders that once embraced it. This is inside the Attic nightclub. Bars and clubs that used to occupy these warehouses were Bar Cleveland, Headliners, The Basement, and Groovy, just to name a few. If you are having too good of a day, you may want to make a reservation at Dick's Last Resort. Patrons of Dick's are expected to be insulted or placed into an uncomfortable situation. The staff is trained to insult its patrons. The Groovy Bar contained multiple levels and a DJ spinning a variety of music. Signs for sale were on the rise due to the fall of the flats. These buildings stood vacant for years due to the decline of the flats. And signs of neglect made a not-so-groovy impact. World-famous Jimmy's was known for its 99-cent happy hour. And not just for bottom-shelf liquor, all liquor. As you walked or drove down the road under the Route 2 bridge, here you will see the Amsterdam and the Cleveland Coyote, which was once the Tube. Clubs further down consisted of the Watermark, River's Edge, and Sammy's, just to name a few. Overlooking the Cleveland Browns Stadium was a mass supply of parking spaces, and a road that was once bumper to bumper with cars lining up to get to the flats. The original and first gentlemen's club was called the Circus. The Circus expanded into what was once a stylish New York club called the Palladium. The Palladium was 2 levels, which also consisted of an outside garden. The garden was a great place to relax under the Cleveland stars while listening to the sound of the Palladium's house DJ. One past tradition that began in 1983 and was held through the heyday of the flats brought thousands of people into the city from all over. One big event was the 1996 Cleveland's Bicentennial Celebration, and this also included the ever so popular Parade of Lights. Decades have passed, and we all were into the new century. Things did not go too well for what Clevelanders thought would be the beginning of something great. But though the revised flats have developed into something different, some of the lifestyles just moved up a few streets up to West 6th Street. Though it's busy on the weekends, it just does not have the same impact of any waterfront property that would gain national attention. The Cleveland Flats will always be a part of the millions of people from all over that enjoyed its lifestyle in the 80s and 90s. You may be asking, what did they do with the flats of the 80s and 2000? In 2007, the flats were torn down. On July 11, 2006, the NOACA Governing Board approved a $5 million Flats River Rock project that consists of apartments, businesses, gyms, movie theater, and other neighborhood amenities. Is this the right decision? Will it put Cleveland back on the map? And that ends our journey revisiting the flats. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. If you have any photos or videos of the flats in the 80s, please send them. I look forward to making a part 2. Cheers.